flip. Come on. Go around. What is going on? Okay, that'll have to do. I didn't want to. There we go. That's what I'm wanting. Alrighty. I'm going to start with my base coat. There we go, get rid of that echo. Just waiting a little bit for more people to kind of chime in and start watching. Just kind of killing a little time here real quick. Alrighty. Figured if I'm going to sit here and be in my nail room and do a set of press-on nails, I might as well get on and hang out with a few people. Let some people watch and check out what I'm doing. Maybe give some other nail artists some ideas. I'm going to need to press that one down a little bit more when we get it out of the lamp. There we are. Set that right in there next to it. I'm going to restart that light real quick. Alright. I'm just kind of getting it off the edges, making sure the sides aren't flooded too much. Pop that one in the lamp too. Alrighty. And what I'm doing here is I'm adding 2 coats, a base coat, to my press-ons before I do my layer of builder gel, and it just adds structure and strength to my press-ons. I do not like flimsy, bendable press-ons, so all of mine are reinforced, strong as acrylic. Practically got to take a hammer to these things. And I don't use cheap tips either. I went and searched 7 different companies to find the strongest, best variety of shapes that I could buy of press-on full coverage tips. And the best ones I have been able to find so far are eNail Couture. I love their full coverage tips. I think they're great. And again, if you reinforce them, then they're even stronger. Alright, those 3 are ready for the next. And that's the one that we're going to press down real quick. There we go. Alrighty. Just gonna leave them on the stand and do all three of them real quick at once. Be sure to get your edges really good. I may need a new little glue tab on there to hold that nail in. It's wanting to be a little bit of a problem. No biggie, I've got plenty. Again, making sure to get the sides really good. There we are. And I'm just gonna go down the sides like so. Make sure that there's no flooding. Alrighty. Now I'll take these out and I'll just pop that whole thing in. And then we'll do these two real quick. And then our two base coats will be done. I am vending at a Gothic nightclub this weekend. So I am trying to get some more sets ready that have a more Gothic vibe to them for my audience. I have several Gothic sets, but I saw a very simple, cute design. I was like, you know what? Why not do that one too? Why not? We have a hair. Can't have that. All right. Nope. I think I got it. Yep, I got it. All right. Just make sure the sides are done really well. All right. All right. Pop that last one in. And then we'll just go ahead and set those all in the lamp for a second. Go ahead, put the lid on our base coat. Alrighty. Alrighty. Alright, that's almost done in the lamp. And then we'll take those out and we'll get started on our builder gel layer next. And then it's off to the fun of the design. Alrighty. Almost done. It's got about maybe another 20 seconds left in that lamp. Alright. We're going to be using a little bit of chrome today, a little bit of silver metal, a little bit of 3D gel, and then some little cross emblems. Alright, we're going to go ahead and pull those out now. Alrighty. And real quick, we are going to fix that tab. So yeah, that stupid little tab needs redone. Come on. Handy dandy little tweezers. Oh, come on. There you go. Now, let me find my sheet of paper. What did I do with those? There they are. Alrighty. Now we'll just grab one of these and pop that right on there. And you gotta pull the actual sticky tab down off the paper before you pull the tab up. It's a little tough, but they stick really well. And then what I do is I just fold the sides over like so. And it gives you a nice little adhesion. And put that back on there. Make sure our nail is straight, which it's not. So we're gonna real quick adjust it. Alright, now it's straight. Now, quickly, I'm going to take the tacky layers off of them. Because we don't like tacky layers. And what I use to remove the tacky layers is rubbing alcohol. I use 91 isopropyl. And it gets that tacky layer off really well. And I like to remove the tacky layer after the base coat before the builder gel to make sure that the builder gel is adhering properly. I have found that if you don't remove the tacky layer, that the builder gel can almost peel off in a layer of its own because it's not adhering because of that oil and that tackiness. So I like to make sure everything is adhering properly, so I will go ahead and remove the tacky layer in between. Alrighty. Last one. Alrighty. Alright. Those have all been done. Now we can move on to our builder gel. And I just use the ASP nail builder in a bottle. I find that the brush is a lot easier to work with. And again, I just take and I brush a thin layer of that on. Builder gel is quite thick in itself, so you don't need a thick layer, or you're going to make all of your nails really bulky looking. So 2 thin base coats and a thin coat of builder gel will give you your strength without the bulkiness. And again, I'm making sure also to go down my sides to make sure that nothing has flooded my sides and that my sides stay nice and crisp. Pop that in the lamp. Oh, come on. Again, making sure to get my sides really good. You don't want to miss a spot. Trust me, when you go to put your polish on, you'll always know if you missed a spot. It will show. Again, nice and crisp edges. Pop that in the lamp. Alrighty, I will move on to the next one now. And then on to the fun part. Again, if anyone would like to say hi, pop on and chat with me. It was one of the reasons I decided to go live instead of just doing a video for the process for it. So if anybody would like to chat, feel free. You got any questions? I'd love to answer them. Get that off. Alrighty. Let me go ahead. Pop that in the lamp now. Alrighty. That one is done and fully cured. Alrighty. Let's get these two finished and popped in the lamp real quick. Alrighty. Crisp those edges. Ooh, get a little hair there. Get that out. Alright. That one gets popped in next. And those two are done. Alrighty. Now the builder gel does have a tacky layer too that we will be removing. Alrighty. Thumb's a little bit bigger, so it does require a little bit more. But again, you want to make sure that you are getting this as thin still as possible, because you don't want your thumb to be bulky while the rest of them are nice and crisp. No. You want strength without bulk. All right. And while that one dries, we will go ahead and take the tacky layers off of that, and then on to our fun design. Alrighty. Writing alcohol. Alrighty. right. All right. Alexa, play Combi Christ.
Shuffling songs by Combi Christ on Amazon Music.
Alrighty. Finish getting those tacky layers off real quick. Alexa, next. Alexa, stop. That's right. I forgot. I'm on YouTube and I can't get kicked off for copywriting, so that's right. Unlike TikTok, I cannot have my music going in the background. Sorry, guys. Rules are rules. Alrighty. Last tacky layer to remove, and we are on to the design. And again, we're going to be using a little bit of chrome powder as well as liquid metal chrome. And we're going to be using some 3D gel that you use for sculpting and other stuff. And we're just going to have a little fun with this. Alrighty, all those tacky layers have been removed. These are good to go. Our structure has been built. Alrighty, the lid back on my rubbing alcohol. Alrighty, now I'm going to start with painting these two a very nudish color. Actually, let me take that off the base. I can already tell that I'm going to get my edges on that other pinky, and I don't want that. No, we don't want that. Move that back a little bit. Move that out of my way. There we go. There we go. And we're going to do 2 coats of this to make sure it's nice and full coverage. Because right now, this is not full coverage. But as with most gel polishes, you need sometimes about 2 layers. Okay. All right, move that out of the way, pop you in our lamp. Now we're going to grab this one off. And the thumb is going to be this color too. Alrighty. Alrighty. Crisp those edges. Wipe that off my finger. Alrighty, and then pop that one in the lamp too. And that one's almost done, so we'll go ahead and restart the timer here in just a second. Alrighty, there we go. Now for the thumb. Alrighty. If you can hear a weird sound sort of in the background of me, I do apologize. That is my foster Jadis chewing on one of her toys. She is a beautiful pit bull. She's about 5 years old now, and she is looking for a loving home. She has been abused in the past, so trust is a big thing with her. She does not just open anybody with welcome arms. She does trust people again, finally. That took a while, but she has come a long way in trusting people again, and we are very happy for the bright future that she has in front of her now. She is through the Claremont County Animal Shelter in Ohio. If anyone is interested in more of her story, she has a lovely round marking over her left eye, while the rest of her body is solid white. She is just so beautiful. Anyway, but that's why I just figured I'd explain the weird chewing sound that people might be hearing on the other side of my nail table. That is her just relaxing, chewing on a tennis ball. Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and get started on these two nails now. And we are going to put liquid metal on them. I mean, look at that gorgeous liquid metal. Love this stuff. Now, the trick to this polish is when you put it on and you've got it all over the nail and you've got it all covered, and I'm sorry, you don't need 2 coats with this. This is definitely full coverage. Once you get it all covered though, you just wait a few seconds and it slowly clears up and becomes very mirror-like. So that's what we'll do, is we'll just sit here for a second and wait for it. No, that's that one. Okay. While that's one's waiting, we will go ahead and do this one. And then we'll pop them in together to cure. Like I said, this is full coverage, but my beige is not. It is definitely something that needs more than 1 coat, but this does not need more than 1 coat. Woo! I'll make sure we get the back really well too, on the sides. All right. Now that that one's good, we will set you back down on your thing, on your little stand to wait. I will pop these bad boys out. Woo. Gotta be really careful. I'm gonna go ahead and pop that one in. That one is ready. And we'll pull that one out. Boom. Alrighty, let's look at you. You are good to go too. So I will just carefully grab you off the stand and pop you in there too. I'll start the timer over real quick. There we go. All right, now on these nails, we're gonna put that second coat on, and then we'll get started on their design. Yep. Since I don't have the silver nails on the other sides of these now, I don't have to be so worried. Oh, little hair, get out. Little hair, get out. I swear, the one thing every nail tech will agree on is that gel polish comes with hair in it sometimes, and it's so weird. All right, again, making sure you get your sides really well. Crispy edges anyway, so any flooding will be taken care of. But you definitely want to make sure that you are covering top to bottom, side to side. If you run into a little bit of a thin spot, just flip your brush. There's always more that gets pushed to the back. See how I just flip it? Another hair. Get out. There we go. There we are. No hairs. Alrighty. Now we will go ahead and pop these in the lamp. Right after we crisp those edges. Alrighty. I'm going to quickly pull these out first and then pop that whole thing in. I specifically bought a nail lamp big enough to stick that whole thing in. It saves time. It saves a lot of time. Alrighty, that is done. Alright, these we are going to go ahead and clear coat, and then we will put the crosses on top of these. Yes, our really, really cool 3D crosses that we have, our little metal crosses, I thought would go great on top of those. Alrighty. And for my top coat, I use the ASP No Wipe top coat. A lot of people have asked me what top coat I use. They have complimented the shine that I get on my nails. And this is my go-to. I love this stuff. It's not excruciatingly expensive. And it's just a really good top coat. I love the shine of it. Crisp the edges one more time on these nails. And that is ready to come out. And that is ready to go in. Now you can come here. Alrighty. That is gorgeous. Again, crisp our edges. And we'll go ahead and stick that in. And I'll just start that timer over real quick. Alrighty, and now we'll come over here and work on these. Now, in order to use our 3D gel and our chrome correctly, we are going to use Tinovo's Teflon Matte and put a layer over this. It just keeps the chrome from sticking to everywhere and only where I want it. So we will put a layer of this on each of the nails. I tried to get it as streakless as possible. And then I let it sit for a second to let the lines kind of pull out and everything. I don't know why matte top coats kind of, you can see brush strokes when it dries if you don't let it sit. So I always let my matte top coat sit for a second so that way I am less likely to see streaks. I do want to kind of feather it over very lightly, again, so you're keeping from getting too many streaks. Alrighty. I'll put you on like so. There we go. Now we'll grab this last one real quick and pop the matte top coat on it. Here we are. Alrighty. Now we will set this one down for a second. Alrighty, and we will grab these two out now. We'll wait another few seconds before popping that in the light. Give that thumb a few more seconds to pull out. We'll go ahead and check this one real quick. There we go. Alrighty. You can even kind of tap it a little bit if you want to get it a little bit more pulled out. You can always tap it a little bit. And then go ahead and pop that in. And we will work on these real quick. Alrighty, now I have already picked out the ones that I'm going to use. So let me just grab my picker and pull these out real quick. Alrighty. Now, next I'm going to be using a no wipe UV gel for adhering these. That way I'm not worried about tacky layers around the edges and worried about fibers getting trapped up underneath and everything like that. I've had that happen in the past with a few customers by using builder gel to put on gems. I didn't always get the tacky layer off as well underneath the edges because there's just such a fine crease between your emblem and the nail. So I find that using a no wipe gel is so much better and higher quality. So I will just take a little bit. I need to order some more. I'm getting low. Come on, get all the air out. There we go. All right, now we're going to put this right in the center. Alrighty. And then I'm going to take this and kind of drag it down a little bit where my cross will be. And then we're going to drag those lines out a little bit too, so those edges of the cross are nice and sealed. All right, good enough. And we'll take our picker and we'll put it on. There we are. Oh, just look at that. I'm loving this. All right, now let's make sure we are straight. Actually, I think we're perfectly straight almost. Almost. Check you from all sides. Looks perfect. We will take those out and we will pop that in before it moves on us. Now we'll do this one real quick. And then we'll get started on the design on the other ones. Okay, that's more than enough. Pull it down a little bit. And then we'll bring it up and pull it out a little bit. Alrighty, picker. Go. Alrighty, check you from all sides. Check you real quick against the other one. Yep, we're good. All right, we will pop you in now. And we'll put this one over here. We'll bring these ones back down now. All righty. Whew. Alrighty, now we are going to go ahead and move on to our 3D gel design. Get unstuck. There we go. Now, just going to start with a little bit of our 3D gel. We're going to roll it out. Want to make sure it's as even as possible. All right, now I'm just going to take this. I'm going to take this nail, and we're going to drape it. Oh, come on, a little further out, a little further out, come on. A little further out, there we go. Now start your turn. Come on. There you go. That's what we want. Alrighty. Just gonna take and break that off real quick. There we go. Set that down. Put that back over there. Alrighty. Now I'm going to take a nifty little tool. I'm going to position it better where I want. And we're also going to cut off the excess that I don't want. Okay. So right here, we're going to first of all take that. Yeah. You get your little booty back over there. Alrighty. So we're going to cut off this portion down here. Oh, come on. There we go. Put that back over here. Okay. Oh, get off of me. There we go. Alrighty. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of rubbing alcohol on my little tool here, just to keep everything from sticking to each other while I try to mold this into the perfect shape. Woo, there we go. Plenty of rubbing alcohol. All right. Now I'm going to take this little part here and we're going to shove those little corners back in real quick. Yes, we are. And I'm going to fix this arch over here a little bit more. Alrighty. And then we're going to just lightly press that down, making sure that it's adhered in place. Alrighty. And there is one part of our design, and we're going to chrome that part there. But first we're going to take just a little bit more rubbing alcohol and make sure all tackiness is out of where we want it to be. Otherwise, our chrome will be sticking in places we don't want it to. It will look for anything tacky to stick to. Now we are going to be putting a chrome base over the tackiness to try to help keep it out of corners. So we will be doing that after we take this out. Let me repress that back end down a little bit. And we are good to go with that one. Alrighty. That goes in and this one comes out. I'm already loving the aesthetic of this set. Very much. Alrighty. Next, we're going to grab a little bit more of our 3D gel. Alrighty. Again, we're just going to roll out our little lines. Trying to make sure that they're even. Okay. Now we're going to take this one. And I'm going to make 2 lines across the bottom with this. Okay, I'm going to try and drop that off me so I can save more of it for the other one. There we go. Alrighty. See if I can keep this from sticking to me. Yay. Alrighty, now we're going to put our second line right across there. Again, I'm going to let that hang while I cut that piece off. We're going to put that back in there and save it. And we're going to turn this around and I'm going to cut off those other sides. Just like that. Alrighty. Now I'm going to take my little tool real quick and make sure that those lines are perfectly straight before I press it down. Alright, bottom line. Alrighty. I think that's good, so we will lightly press those down now from side to side. Not smashing them, just lightly pressing. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and pop that in. And we're going to take this out now. And we are going to take our chrome base just to where the design is. So I'm going to grab a fine brush real quick. Alrighty. Now that I got my nice clean brush, I'm going to get my little plastic palette out and stick some on it. Alrighty. Alrighty. Now I'm just going to go right over just the design. Be sure you're not pressing too hard with your brush. It will go over and you'll get it in between your design, and that's not what you want. So try very much to have a light touch while doing this. Alrighty. We're going to pop that right back in now. I'm going to take this out and I'm going to do the same thing with it. I'm going to go just over our design. Very light hand. Alrighty. One more line. There we go. Alrighty. We will go ahead and pop that in now. And then we'll go ahead and get started on the design for the thumb. Again, grabbing a little bit more of our 3D gel. We are going to make an X on this one. Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back. Go. All right. Real quick, I'm going to take that one out, but I'm going to put that one back in because I didn't get a full cure. But that one is ready for its chrome now. Alrighty. Let me back in my groove real quick. All right, so we're going to make another thing. We're going to make this one a little bit thicker though, I think, for our design, instead of so thin like we did the other one. Just trying to make sure all of it's even. All right, that looks good. All right, now with our thumb, we are going to do an X. Come on, get off me, get off me, get off me. There we go. And now we're going to cut it off. And put that right over here so we can reuse it. Come on. There we go. And we'll cut this side real quick after pointing it better. There we are. There's one of our X's. We're going to fix that line a little bit. Alright. There's that line. We'll need to get a little bit more gel so we can have the same thickness consistency with our line. And I always grab a little bit more than I need, but I'd rather have enough than too little. It's a lot harder to add it in unless you have like one of those molding clay doughs that certain nail techs sell on their sites. I honestly like Nails by Dev and Tino Vo's clay doughs and trippy gels for molding stuff. This is a clear one off of Amazon. It's basically for when you feel like painting whatever you're molding. And I was going to be chroming, so I wasn't too worried about using the other stuff. Alrighty. Here we are. Cut that off real quick. There's that now. Alright, and we'll cut that now. There we go. Oop. Come here, stinker. Alrighty. Now I'm going to get my rubbing alcohol out again so I can move those lines exactly where I want them with my nifty little tool. Alrighty. Actually, we're going to set that over there. There we go. Now I'm just going to... Didn't get enough alcohol on there. Down a little bit now. Alrighty. Got a little more rubbing alcohol on that. Alrighty. No, I think we want that line a little more over. Actually, I do. I think we want that line a little more over. Okay. Yeah, we're liking that. Alright, I want to move that center line over though a little bit. Good, but I think this one needs to be moved back a little more. Alright, now I think we can start lightly pressing everything together for adhesion. Alrighty. Now that that is on there, we will go ahead and pop that in. Those two are ready. So let's go ahead and get our chrome out and have a little fun with that. Where's my chrome buddy? There you are. My chrome buddies. I always keep a nice big package of these around because I go through them a lot. Alrighty. They're basically just little eyeshadow applicators, but they work great for getting in cracks and stuff like that. Nooks and crannies. Oh, come on. There we go. Open. Don't make a mess. Okay. All right. Go ahead and start chroming. Alrighty. And we'll just take our brush. And then I will take my little tool here. And we'll just kind of clean up that chrome. I need a little bit more rubbing alcohol. No problem. I may have to take a different tool. It's looking okay. I got it. There's what we're gonna do. There you are. Alrighty. A little bit of acetone. Work great. When in doubt, use acetone in a brush. And we'll just get that little excess bit of chrome where we don't want it showing. Yep. Alrighty. Oh, that is so beautiful. Look at that. Just look at that pretty design. Very subtle, very simple, but I'm digging the aesthetic very much. Very much digging it. Alrighty, that turned out great. On to the next one. Alrighty. And then brush that off. Alrighty. And then once again, just taking a little bit of acetone and getting that off of where we don't want it. Alrighty. There we go. Alrighty. And now that is done. Just usually brush a little more just to make sure. All right, look at how pretty that came out. I'm loving this. Loving this, loving this, loving this. Okay. All that is left is the X. Alrighty, we will take our fine brush again and we will put on the chrome base with a light hand. Light hand, don't smudge. Last side. Now I'm going to take a little bit of acetone and take off that side as much as I can where it kind of went over because I had a little thicker of a hand than I wanted to. And that's what we were trying to avoid. So we may have some chrome exposure on the side on that one. But luckily we can take some acetone to where we don't want our chrome. Alrighty. There we are. Pop you in. Okay, can we just talk about the aesthetic though of this? Oh, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Yeah, I'm really digging the aesthetic of this. I love my goth nails, but I'm really just, I'm loving the neutral tones with the silver. I may have to recreate these on a set of actual acrylic nails for myself, but I may wait until my nails are a little bit longer to do that. I am working my nails back out after my wedding. I actually went really short for my wedding, so this is already a good leap that I've had to get used to over the past couple of days. So, and normally I'm about actually out to here, if not sometimes even a little longer. I can't go longer than that, unfortunately, with my lifestyle. I would love to, but fostering animals and most of them larger dogs, I need to be able to grab them in case of anything. And if I go longer than that, I have a hard time being able to grab their collars or properly instruct them like I need to be. So I've got to make sure I'm still responsible for them. So we will just stay at this instead of going longer. Because, I've dreamed about having foot-long freaking nails. I really have. And there's actually a girl out there that does foot-long and longer nails. And I'm like, That would be so fun to live your life like that. Like, I would adore that. But I also really like volunteering with animal shelters in my local areas. I currently foster for 3 different animal shelters. So I have to keep them a little bit shorter, but I am still going to work myself out to longer. And when I do, I may have to recreate this set. Oh, I'm almost getting like cyberpunk vibes off of it. That could be just mainly like the designs of these with the silver, but loving it, loving it. Okay, so we are on to the silver chrome now for this. And then we will go ahead and put the clear coats on all of these and decide if we want to add anything else. I don't know if I will. I'm kind of liking the simplicity of this with its aesthetic, but we may, we'll see. We'll see. I may just keep it simple though. I may just keep it simple. Okay, here is our applicator. There we go. Hmm. All right, one last little line. She looking so cute. Alrighty, once again, we will just dust off the excess. And then we will take our little brush and get the chroma off where we don't want it, where unfortunately we had a little bit of a heavier hand than we wanted to. But that's fine. I know how to fix it. I can fix it. I can fix it. Get really up in there good. And then we'll do it over here really good on the edges. Righty. That almost pretty much has it all off. Almost. Let me just get a few more of those speckles out of there. She gorgeous. All right. And now that is done. All right. That is so awesome. Loving how that came out. Loving it. Alright. I'm gonna clean up this area a little bit. And then to keep the chrome looking the way it does, it is always best to just go over it with the actual chrome base and top coat, and then put your clear coat over it, which is what I will be doing. I don't like to skip steps with my nails. I like to know that my nails are flawless, whether they're the press-ons I'm selling or the nails I'm wearing. So we will get our palette back out again. Add a little more. I'll go back over those lines quickly. And then I'll get these clear coated and show you the final look. Too much. And the reason why I like to use the chrome top coat before just using a regular gel top coat is because the chrome will not look the same as if you had actually taken the time to put the top coat on that belongs with the chrome. It is worth the extra step. Alrighty, and now we will pop that in. Alrighty, I'll do these. That is just looking so pretty. Alrighty. Alrighty. Pop that in. I'll start the timer over on it. Now we just have this one to do and clear coat. With the top coat, you don't have to be so much of a light-handed. It's okay if you got it in the edges. It's a top coat. You're going to be putting a different top coat on it as well, so everything is just going to come out shiny anyway. A little more right there. Alrighty. And we'll pop that in. Alrighty. And then the final clear coat. Alrighty, those are done now. Well, actually, that thumb is not fully cured, so we'll put that one back on. These ones are ready to go. Oh, look at that. Alrighty. Time for clear coating these bad boys. Whoops, there's a lot. Alrighty. Make sure those edges stay nice and crisp. Look at that. Just beautiful. Alright, we will go ahead and pop that in now. And get started on this one. Alrighty, that one is ready now. And now for our last one. Alrighty, last little side, and then we'll get our center, pop this in, and then everybody can see the finished look. Again, just trying to make sure it's not too thick in places. Taking care of those sides. What is that? There we are. Alrighty. Pop you in real quick. Take these ones out. Oh my. I mean, just look at that. I'm just in love. I am digging these. Again, if it's not pretty enough for me to wear, I'm not going to bother to sell it. Yep. All right. That has about 30 more seconds left. Almost there. About 16 seconds to go now. Alrighty. There we are. Now we can see the whole set together. That is just a great aesthetic. Absolutely a great aesthetic. Yeah. These will be great for going out vending this weekend. Love it. Alrighty, y'all. I have a few things I have to go get to. I might be live again later this evening. I haven't decided if I'm going live on TikTok or YouTube, but you can follow my channel and I always alert when I go live. So you can check me out later if you'd like. Everybody have a good day. Bye.